So we've divided our training into two. There is what we are calling training 1 and training 2. And basically, the two will be giving us the entire coverage of what we need to understand about our business. So next week, but one, we'll be able to proceed from where we'll stop in what we'll be calling basic training 2. So this is basic training 1. For the sake of those who have just joined us, the nature of our business is what they call network marketing. And I would want to say that we call it network marketing because it's the same way you would move products alone, but this time you create a network that you will use to move the products so that you can be able to do it in a very large scale. So our business is not really about selling, that is marketing. It's about doing that as a network. So I love looking at it as purely building a network. By the way, it can also be a network of users. Who cares whether you're buying to sell or you're buying to consume, as long as products are being bought by your organization. So if you look at the definition there, we are saying is the process of developing a network. I love that. So even before you go to the rest of it, the process of developing a network. So we used to say that the major thing in our business is sponsoring, that is creating a network. But later we changed that a little bit. We tweaked that a little bit. And we now say sponsoring is the business, not part, not the main thing, but the only thing. So the process of developing a network or an organization, if you like, of people who, number one, use the product. If you have a network of people who are not using the products, they're not moving the products, then that is not business. And share the product and bring other people into the network. So as individuals share the products and their organization is growing, then more products are moving. And that is what the business is all about. And you are paid from that, from your own personal orders and the orders from your entire team. So those who have just joined us, that is very, very important. Now, never panic. At the beginning, you may not be able to create a big network at once, but remember we defined it as a process. It's a process. It's not an event. It's not a one-time thing. And this is a business that has grown so big. Today, if you really want to make serious money and you are a person of patience, this is the business you want to do. You don't want to do the traditional businesses that people do out there and you carry the entire load alone. So that now gives you so many advantages like personal development. Think about these unique benefits that you get in our business. It's another university altogether, especially in Superstars team. So you get personal development and become a business owner. It's your own business. In as much as we are working as a team, please remember this is your own business. Well, you're partnering with a company, but look at it as that is just the source of the products you use to build your own business. The other benefit is that you become a true leader. We train you and inculcate leadership in you. Then there is an internal system in place. So you just plug in. Just plug in. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And the most important one, you generate residual income. I love this. Can you imagine, even in the next 70 years from today, my business will still be giving me huge income? Can you imagine? Even 200 years, God willing, if my children will really run it the way I'm going to mentor them to do it, and they mentor their children, then even in the next 200 years, the business will still be generating income, residual income. No exaggeration there, right? Now, this is important, ladies and gentlemen, that at the beginning, the business will not be paying you as much as your boss is paying you. You see, employees are overpaid in the beginning, but they are underpaid for the rest of their lives. Even when you really work so hard, that is an employee. But for an entrepreneur, you see, employee is starting here, nothing much. You see, the line is horizontal. But for the entrepreneur, they start way below here, but then they will start climbing, and you can see some zigzag, meaning sometimes things will move faster, sometimes there may be some trough, crest, trough. But then the idea is, if you draw that line of best fit, we are moving upward throughout. So for entrepreneurs, you are underpaid at the beginning. You can see down here where we are starting, but then you are overpaid for the rest of your life as an entrepreneur. So where do you feel that is best to be? Definitely an entrepreneur. But then that requires that you really build the muscle, the traits that entrepreneurs have. So the catch to network marketing is simple. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. Note these two words here, temporary. So it's just for a short time. But then you're also really getting that loss of social esteem from ignorant people. So why should you bother? If it's coming from ignorant people, why should you bother? But why we are putting this one here, friends, is because many people have become victims of the same temporal loss of social esteem. Just because someone told you, how can you do that business of people who don't have anything else to do? By the way, if you don't use your own thinking and depend on other people's thinking, then you'll never do anything. So I challenge you, superstars, as we move on, let us be ready to accept temporal loss of social esteem from ignorant people as we prove them wrong. Did you hear that? As we prove them wrong. Now, it is important that we all get these simple definitions and terminologies right. I know all our members know this, but then we don't want to leave anyone behind, even those who joined today. PV is the language in our business. PV, poverty vanish. Oh, sorry, point value. Point value. But we also call it poverty vanish because the more PVs you get, the farther you kick away poverty and become financially free. So these are the points you get when you buy any product, and they don't change anywhere in the world, whichever the country. A product which has got 10 PV in Kenya will have 10 PV in Botswana, in US, everywhere. Then PPV are the points that you get when you buy products in your own name, whether for your own use or for selling. And for you to, this is important, for you to participate in the compensation plan, you must have not less than 100 own points. These are not points from sponsoring, no. These are purely from orders in your account. So have the habit of, at the beginning of the month, buy a few items that you need yourself and a few that you want to service your customers. Even if it's not 100 points day one, then day 3, day 5, and more. And if you have that consistency, by end of the month, you'll have hundreds, if not thousands. But you must have not less than 100 personal points for you to participate in the compensation plan. What that means, friends, is that even if you are a president, and for some crazy reason you don't do 100 personal points, then the system doesn't pick you as among those who should be, if you allow me, in the payroll. So you trigger the compensation plan by doing 100 personal points. Then we go now to the second question of how many points do you have with your team? But if you have 0 and the team gives you 1,000,000 points, then the total points is usually not the real mathematics. 0 or 99, as long as it's not 100 points, you can call it 0 or 99, plus 1,000,000 points from your team equals 0. Okay. All right, we move on with some more definitions here. QPV, these are now the points that you get from your entire organization. Your personal plus your team. So the bigger the team that you have from your distributors, managers, senior managers, executive managers, then that gives you QPV. Note that we've not included directors. If you are a director and you have directors in your team, then the points from your directors are not included in this QPV. They're included in something else we call GPV, group PV, group point values. And that is why in payments, we have sales volume bonus from your QPV plus LDB, leadership development bonus from your directors. If you're not a director yet, the only pay you get is sales volume bonus. BV, every product has got BV, bonus volume, in addition to the PV. So that when they are computing the bonus, you are going to be paid some percentage determined by the PV multiplied by the total BV bonus volume. Okay. SRP and DP, these are the selling prices and the buying prices respectively. When we call selling price suggested, it is because it's just a guide, but you can go slightly above if there are some other expenses that you have to incur. For example, who should pay for the delivery of the product? It is the customer, so you include it there. Okay, especially if it's going to be delivered by the company, so you are paying both the amount for selling plus the delivery amount. You are paying all of it together. But if you are using your own other means to deliver, then they pay the selling price directly to the company, but they can send you the money for delivery separate. So that's why we are calling it suggested retail price. Sometimes we round off. If a product is 48.70 shillings, I can say it's 5,000, just rounding it. I mean, so it's suggested. Some people, like our friends in Malawi and Zambia, they incur more expenses in importing the product from another country and converting currencies. So again, that moves it a little bit higher. Okay, now please note this, and this is very important for all of us. Simple, but some people, even those who've been there for some long time, they miss it. We are saying, yes, you have your 100 personal points, but for you to really be paid now, you need to have 250 points and above. So if you have 249 points in total, even if you have your 100 points, but the total is 249 or less, then you are paid at 0%. You're not in the compensation plan. So when you hit 250, but not yet manager, 500, you are paid at 3%. 3% of your total BV's bonus volume. And also you are paying some 3% from your team if you have some people in your team who are not being paid at 3%. Then when now you move to 500 points, the percentage increases to 5%, all the way to 999. Now it is at this point that I tell people, why should you close the month at 950 points? 950 points, let me just say, those who are following me, 950 points, 950 points. You are paid at the same percentage. Let me not ask the question at that point. Let me move on first. 1,000 points to 1999 points, you are paid at 10%. Now the titles are changing as we go up. For 500 points, you are called a manager. 1,000 points, you are called a senior manager, all the way to 1999. 2,000 points, to 2,999, you are called an executive manager and being paid at 15%. But note that even at 3,000 points, you are still an executive manager, but you are paid at a higher percentage, 20%. So two executive managers, one 15%, the other one 20%. So don't stop at 2,800 because you're an executive manager. If you push it to 3,000, still executive, you'll be paid at a higher percentage. And then the last one is 4,000 points, where you are called a director and you are paid at 25%. 25%. So even as you build the business, please have this in mind. And as early as now, you must have a target of how far do I want to go up this ladder by end of the month. So as I've mentioned, you can see the ranks there: distributor, manager, senior manager, director. Now from director, we go to Emerald Director. Emerald Director is just a measure of consistency. Are you doing more than 4,000 points every month? Is your director business stable? That is what we are talking about. And if you've been sponsoring well every other month, then your business will be very stable at whatever the level you get. If you have not been sponsoring, then it means your points are only coming from yourself and sometimes may not be as high. So sponsoring is what makes your business to be solid and consistent. So Emerald Director is a measure of consistency at 4,000 points. Then we have Wound Team, that is from Sapphire Director and above, and then President Team. But for Wound Team and President, we can always have some more discussions there because it is about, sorry, it's telling me that sharing is paused. Let me see what's up and share again. Anytime you're not able to see something, please don't hesitate to alert me. All right, is that okay? Hope we are together. Someone? Hope you are seeing the screen now. Okay, thank you, Susan. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So Wound Team and President Team, around there you have many directors, and we'll get into dynamics of what happens when you are at that level. Okay. Oh, from between senior manager and director, this was not there some time back, executive manager, but I already mentioned, so there we are. So quickly, how do you become a manager, a qualified manager? We've already mentioned 500 points. As long as you have 100 personal points, then the team can give you 400 points also, and the total is 500 points. That is how you become a manager. And every single person in this call who is not yet a manager, can we take this as a good challenge that this month, February 2025, we all step up to manager? Can we stretch ourselves? You see, the beauty of stretching yourself is that you grow and you'll never go back to where you are. Even your mind, everything. Growth comes with stretching. Don't shrink yourself and your ability. So let us stretch ourselves. Do some points today, do some points tomorrow, sponsor some people, let them do some points because you have a target of 500 points. But then I also must remind you, if you don't have 100 personal points, then you don't get to manager. And before I go to the benefits of manager, let me also say, for the existing managers, you became a manager in the past, please, before you become a senior manager, make sure that all the months you are not going below 500 points. That is what we call consistency. Because you are paid from your business, the way you are, the production in your business that month. It's not about really the title per se. So we have to be honest with ourselves. so that you are always earning as a manager every month. Now, the benefits are many. You're talking of recognition and you get a pin. On Saturday, those who are in Kenya will be having mega recognition in Nairobi. And so we'll be pinning you. Then you attend special manager schools. In Nairobi, again, we usually have special manager trainings every Wednesday, 6 p.m. You are making retail profits. That's how you got your points. And you're being paid at 5% of your team effort, not just your own effort. And you're on your way to senior manager and executive manager. Then the next step becomes qualifying senior manager, 1,000 points. And the benefits, again, all the benefits of a manager, plus you get to attend special senior manager schools, more retail profits, and the payment goes up to 10% of your team effort. Then you get some incentives. Even for manager, you have some incentives, but you see incentives keep going higher as you step up. And you're on your way to director. The next one is executive manager, 2,000 points. And you get all the benefits of a manager, senior manager, and many more. In fact, what I've seen is that real earning starts from executive manager. I've seen executive managers earning in excess of 65,000 Kenya shillings. But the dream of everyone is to become a director. Okay, how do you become a director? The first way is you be a senior manager. Then you accumulate 10,000 points in 6 months period, and you don't miss 100 points any of those months. And then the last month of becoming a director, you do 4,000 points. That's the normal way of becoming a director. But rarely do we talk about this because there is a shortcut. There's an easier way. Our time there wasn't any other way. This was the only way. But today there is an easier way where you can be a director in only 2 months. How do you do that? The first month, become an executive manager. The second month, do 4,000 points with your team. And you are a fully qualified director. Simple. That is what Masi Koba in Malawi did. First month, executive. Second month, director. Simple. Those who have just joined us, can we use this? You see, success loves speed. So you want to move very fast. Okay? Yeah, so what we are saying here is discipline of doing 100 personal points is not optional. Because if you drop at some point, then it means you're no longer accumulating your points towards becoming a director. And okay, that is me. I look at it as being indisciplined in your own business. It's like you are a CEO of your business, but you don't care what happens. Okay. Right. So you can see that this person is doing 100 points very well, but then at one point he did 50. Now, if you do 50, then it means you're no longer accumulating the points. Okay. So even when you do 4,000 points, you will be surprised. Oh, I'm just an executive manager or senior manager. Why? Because you lost it at one point. Okay. The benefits are so many. For directors, the benefits are just crazy. In fact, today, we have new directors even getting some good cash incentive in their second month of becoming a director. Cash incentive in the tune of 8,500 Kenya shillings or whatever the equivalent in your country. Okay, yeah. So as we get to the tail end of this session, allow me to say that one thing that people ignore, and it's so critical if you are to build a solid business, is attending events. I don't know why people take this casual. I don't know. But if you are not attending events, like the one we have next month, but one at KICC, and I'm so happy people are traveling from all over the world. If you are not attending these kind of events, then number one, you deny yourself the momentum and energy that and the synergy that comes with the fire in the event. And in our business, you need that energy, my friend. So the benefits of attending events are endless. In fact, that is literally speaking, endless. Number one, you get social proof. You'll find people who have made it so big, and that will prove to you that, wow, this thing is working. If all these people are building the business, engineers, doctors, teachers, I think then I'm in the right place. Then you learn new skills. That is where you hear the stories of those who have succeeded. And in our business, it's about man can see, man can do game. Just copy paste. If this is what they've done, they have succeeded. Do the same, you'll succeed. Do what successful people did to be successful, and you'll also be successful. Hear success stories. We are human beings. We need inspiration. It's like someone who doesn't go to church, and within no time, their spiritual life is no more. So you need to hear these success stories. If so-and-so can do it, I too can do it even better. Then association. You spend time with other people, and these are people of the same dreams like you, beliefs and goals, and you feel encouraged and uplifted. Then the last one is you resell to yourself, you resell you on the business. You feel like you are convinced beyond any doubts. That is where people get out of the event saying, I feel like restarting my business. I feel like I am brand new. And the way we usually do it, like in our Superstar Team convention, it's in a way that every single person who attends the convention, after that, their businesses just skyrocket. I believe our new software directors are here, Irene Mshukano from Zambia. She came for our last Superstar Team convention last year. And before the year ended, she was already a Sapphire director. That is what can happen. That is what can happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us not take the events for granted. Sometimes you have to pay the price, like maybe there's registration. For KICC one, it's 2,000 Kenya shillings, but it is worth. How do you invite people to events? By the way, if you have a team of 3 people, don't go to the event alone. Go with them. If they are not willing to go, carry them by force. I mean, that is where they will be revived. But those who really cannot even be carried, leave them alone. They are as good as finished. I mean, sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. So, how do you invite many people to the events? The first one is promote the event. You've got to really talk about it every other time to your team. But be an example, because you cannot tell people to do what you yourself you are not doing. People look at what you are doing more than what you are telling them. Then make the event a priority. In fact, those who have just joined us, before you even know of many other things, ask for the pay bill number, register for the convention as a priority. And don't buy into excuses. The only reason some people have not registered is because they will be sick. I mean that. Someone will tell you, no, I couldn't come for the convention because I fell sick a week before. Then you'll ask yourself, how comes you never registered 5 months when people are registering? That means you knew you would fall sick a week to the event. Excuses. And there's no way you look for an excuse and you fail to get one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us sell the event big time. So make it a priority to go to events, and you'll find yourself on the path to go all the way to the top. Now, don't take advice from the wrong people. As you build this business, ladies and gentlemen, listen only to those people who are, cheering you up, people who are encouraging you, people who are telling you, yes, you can make it. And there are few. Don't listen to naysayers out there who will discourage you. They'll tell you that their grandmothers were in the business, they never made it. And you're not someone's grandmother. I mean, you are original. So he who takes advice about multi-level marketing or network marketing business from those who have not succeeded in the same are bound to fail. You don't ask medical advice from a plumber. So why get network marketing advice from people who have not succeeded? Right? So basically, what we are saying is your business is so precious and you need to take it with the seriousness that it deserves. Treat your business like a business, not like a hobby. It will pay you like a business. But if you treat it like a hobby, doing it when you feel like, then it will pay you like a hobby. It will cost you like a hobby. Okay. Finally, believe in yourself. This is the secret to success. If you cannot believe in yourself, then no one else can help you. Believe that you can do it. Believe that even if you have never done business before, you are going to do this one. It doesn't matter what others will say. If there is no enemy within yourself, then the enemy from outside can do you no harm. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to pause at that point and challenge all of us, new and old, those who have just started the business and those who've been in the business for long, that it is time to re-energize ourselves. It is time to run with the business. It is time to take the steps. Remember our motto, our theme this year is massive action for massive results and massive step-ups. So we don't have time to waste. The month of February is moving very fast. It's usually one of the shortest months, but the most productive month. I can tell you, this is the month that some people take their steps to Emerald Director. That one I'm 100% sure. This is the month that some people take first step Sapphire Director, and so on and so forth. So let's go for it, guys. And with God, I believe we are going to crush it. Thank you so much. God bless you, and let's run with it.